Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, I'm in a new area. I recently moved, so I have a nice view of the city. There will be an apartment tour to come. But for right now, I'm gonna close my windows. Okay, I'm back with no city traffic noise this time. So today I am gonna do my 15 top recommendations plus just probably my favorite series. So some of them I have here, some of them I don't. So the first series I have is, gonna be no surprise to anyone, the Luck series. So if you watch other booktubers, which I'm sure you do, like the more famous ones like Jesse the Reader, his favorite Miss Peregrines are always in his videos. Natasha Tashopoulos, she always has the Twilight. And Book Utopia, Sasha always has her Cassandra Clare books. So basically, that's gonna be these for me. I always recommend them. I love them so much. And I have the bind up, so there's 5 books in the series, and then one in Damon's point of view. So I think this is like book 1 to 3 in his point of view. Then in book 4 or 5, it becomes a dual perspective. Anyway, that is the first recommendation. So next I don't have here, it is the Sweet Evil trilogy. So I don't know if you've heard of these books. It's basically about Nephilim and angels, and it's just so good. A lot of these are pretty popular, so I won't dive into their descriptions. I will talk about some of the other ones that you may have not heard of. But if you haven't heard of them, just go check out Goodreads. It'll give you the synopsis. So next, I also don't have here, unfortunately. I am looking everywhere for the box set now that the entire series is done. I want the entire thing. It costs about $200 for the box set, and I can't really swing that right now. So it is the Throne of Glass series. So this one I've read several times. I read it the first 4 books, and then the last one came out, I guess I read up to Tower of Dawn, and then Kingdom of Ash came out, so I was like, I should reread these. So I reread the entire series. I think I said this in another video. Weird. Anyway, so I definitely recommend those. Assassin female lead, I love that. Next I have the first one here. It is the Legend series. So I really enjoyed this series. I read it a long time ago, and I like how the pages in Day's point of view, the main character boy, it's gold like that, and then each of the books change colors, and then it's the writing, like it's the same color as the cover, which I think is really cool, and I haven't seen a lot of other books do that. Anyway, so this is really good, and I also, it's by Marie Lu, and I also have this. It's basically the 4th book in this series, but it's not. It's about the main character, the guy, his younger brother. It was still pretty good, a really pretty cover, but I still enjoy this series like a lot better, and I definitely recommend this. Okay, so the next series I also don't have here. I've recommended in other videos as well. It's more, I don't want to say middle grade, except I guess it is because the characters are around the 16-year-old age. It is the Viral series. So I believe there's 5 books in this series. I explained it in one of my other videos, and where do I have trace evidence? And then this series also has a bunch of 0.5 books, so I have trace evidence here, just a short little read, and then there's also other ones that I'd like to get, but I do want to reread this series again, and you fly through it. Each story is an adventure of them using their abilities, and I just enjoy it. It's such a light read, but it's riveting at the same time. So next. This series I also want to buy in a box set, but I want to wait until it's done. So I'm using my roommate's copy, which I've shown in another video because it's so damn pretty. So it is, if you didn't see the title, A Court of Thorns and Roses. So Sarah J. Maas, I love her writing. I honestly might like this series better than Throne of Glass. I enjoy both I enjoy both so much. If you asked me to choose, I don't know if I could out of the two. But this one, I didn't realize when I first read it, it's actually a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which I went into it not knowing that, and it's like so far off. Like once I knew it, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But it's so far off of the Beauty and the Beast point that I didn't know. But it was such an amazing story. And I always love those fairy tale retellings. Oh, I can't get it. So next, I don't have here. So this is the Ruby Red series. So I haven't read this in quite a while. I do remember it being really good, and I do want to reread it. So it's basically about time travel, and I rated it a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. It's the Precious Stone trilogy. I think there's 3 books in the series. It's like Ruby Red, Emerald Green, Blue Sapphire, something like that. And basically it's just about time travel and doppelgangers, and you can't go wrong reading a story like that. So I really enjoyed that series. Next is Vampire Academy. So back a long time ago, my mom recommended this to me, and I was kind of put off because unpopular opinion, or maybe it's popular, it's really controversial about Twilight. I read Twilight back when I was in 4th grade, and I guess maybe I liked it at the time, but also I didn't at the same time, and it just put me off reading vampire books for a while. And my mom was like, no, just read it, and I was like, and then I read it, and it was actually really, really good. I enjoyed that series so much, and there's quite a bit of books. I just reread it recently, but I think it's time for a reread again. I mean, recently, I mean like last year when I was back at home. And also, leading with the Rachel Mead, which is the author, I also love the spin-off series of the Vampire Academy, which is the Bloodlines books. The Bloodline books tie in Sydney, which is an alchemist, with Adrian, which is a vampire, and it's their journey together, and Adrian's in the other one, and Sydney's in it a bit, but she also does like witch magic, but it's very frowned upon in the alchemist world by her dad and everyone. It's basically their journey, and it's really cute, and I really enjoyed those books, so definitely give those a read. So next, you might not know about this one. I don't know how popular this book is. I don't know how I found it. It's the Alice in Zombieland series. So basically this series, it starts off with her whole family dying. It's sad, I know. And then because her parents are all strict, they're like, we can't go out at night, like we always lock the door, you can't go to anything, and it was like Halloween, and then her sister had this recital and she wanted to go, and it was her birthday, so they went, and then the zombies ended up getting at the car. So then basically the whole book, or the whole series, is she finds, I don't want to say covenant, she finds a group of people who also know about the zombies, and they train together, they teach her how to see them, and then basically it's her defeating them. And also there's a hot main character named Cole, and it's just a really cute read. I gotta reread those too. It's been a while. It's also a sad aspect when she talks to her sister and her sister is gone. So next, as you can see, the big space in my bookshelf, recent. Okay, nice. So this series, I almost dropped it. Okay, the Lady Midnight series. I don't know if I can hold all 3 at the same time. They're very big. Like, I don't even know how much these weigh. Anyway, they look so pretty. Okay, so this series is amazing. So I found it on Vancouver Buy and Sell, and it was like 20 bucks for these 3 hardcover books in great condition, plus the Bane Chronicles. And I was like, yes. So, so I could not put these books down. I have mixed feelings about the City of Bones series. I read it a long time ago, before the movie came out, before I even knew there was a movie, and before I guess the rest of the books came out, so I didn't read the rest, and the first few kind of blended together for me, and I didn't love them. I feel like if I gave them another shot, I'd like them, but I love Lady Midnight. I picked that up, I couldn't stop, which is bad because they're so big, they took me, not long, but I could have been doing more productive things. but you know, books come first. So I couldn't put those down. I actually want to reread them again, but I'm like making sure I have like a set few days where, or if I ignore my responsibilities, then it's fine. So pending on that reread. So next I actually picked up the other day from another person on Vancouver Buy and Sell, and I've been looking for this for a while. It's always so expensive though, and I found a few options on Buy and Sell, so I only got it for $18, and it is the Narnia series, the Chronicles of Narnia. And so basically, when I was young, my uncle got me a poster of The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and the book, and basically, I don't know, I became obsessed with it when I was younger, and I just wanted to reread them and own them, and finally I saw the opportunity, so I took it. So yeah, so those are pretty good. I'm excited to reread them and then rewatch the movies. So next is the Covenant series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So the first one's Half-Blood. I think I've mentioned this in another video. I want to reread these books. I just want to buy the box set. It's actually very hard to find them for some reason, and I don't know why. But basically, it's a spin-off to these books that I had just read as well, and they're really good, except the Half-Blood comes first. So I have read that, but it's definitely on my reread list. So if you haven't read those, I'd check those out. I always love Jennifer L. Armentrout's writing. The only thing I think with those books is I think the Half-Blood and Vampire Academy had really similar aspects to it, I found. Like different authors, obviously. But I remember when I was reading them, they were both around the same time, and they both have like the academies. They both have like the different, like the vampires or the Hematoi, like, and like guardians and stuff. Like it kind of had very similar feels to me. But I mean, if I love them both, then who cares if they're a little bit similar, right? Next is the Angel Fall series, the trilogy. So this series is really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's by Susan E. It's like 2 E's is her last name, so I don't really know how to say that. But basically, like in the title, angels fall to the earth. A lot of them are bad. They wreak mayhem. That's a weird sentence to say, that they wreak mayhem. They cause a lot of destruction, and it's basically just follows this one family, but mostly it's the girl the whole time. And then she meets this angel. She actually helps him out. Well, I think she tortures him first, actually. But anyway, you know how the young adult goes, that they fall in love, which is awesome. And then it's like their journey throughout all three. I believe at one point they go to the underworld, which is really cool. I don't think that's gonna spoil anything, because I barely remember which part it was from. And last but not least, one of the series that I first got into is the Under the Never Sky series. So this series, I read a long time ago, and I figured, I was like, you know, when you read a series when you're younger and you're like, I don't know if it's still good, or if it was just me being younger that liked it. So then I reread it, and I still really enjoyed it. So basically, it's a dystopian. So the world's all messed up from something on the outside, and then people live in these like pod dome things, and basically it's weird to picture, because in the book it says it's an eyepiece, and it like goes right here and it sinks like into your skin, and basically you can be somewhere without actually being there, and you never get sick or hurt in this dome. And then there's the outsiders, or also the savages they call them, and they just live on the outside world. So then she tries to find her mom, so she does something illegal, and then it's also like the main guy's son that does it. So instead of being like, my son did it, he throws her out into the outside of the dome, into the wild. And then she meets this guy, Peregrine. He's like the leader of this, like the Titans, which is like this community group thing. Community group, that makes it sound bad. Civilization area, I can't think of the word, but anyway, he's the leader. He helps her survive on the outside. Both of them reluctant at first, and then you know how it goes, they fall in love. But anyway, it's their journey throughout, and also, oh sorry, main part of it, there's these like cloud storms called aether, and so basically like the aether gets worse, and then it hits like the ground. It's basically like lightning, I guess. In my mind I pictured lightning, but really bad. And so they're trying to find this alleged still blue, where the skies are always blue, there's no aether, like it's whatever. And so the people in the dome are trying to find it, and so are the savages or the outsiders. And basically, well, the last book is called Into the Still Blue, so you can imagine what happens there. They find it, but anyway, their journey is just to find it, and it's really good. Those are the top 15. One that's not mentioned that obviously is, I figured I wouldn't need to mention it because everybody would think about it, and you probably already know what I'm talking about, is the Harry Potter series. So that, I feel like I don't need to mention. I feel like that's in all the top books. If you haven't read that, I definitely recommend that. I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you found some good recommendations today. Let me know down below in the comments which of these 15 is your favorite series, and I'll see you next time.